That English. Like, did I just witness 5 plus maybe 6 to 7 minutes worth of English that honestly wasn't, to be real here, wasn't that bad. The only thing I can really put down for the English was somewhat the lack of emotions. But besides that, the grammar was wonderful, and I could understand it without reading the subtitles. So that's really the best way to compliment the English, because when I heard it, I was like, are they really doing this? Like, at 30 seconds past, I'm like, are they still talking in English? It still goes on, and I'm like, they're still talking. I'm like, what the fuck? And when I look at the timer, and like 4 to 5 minutes pass, I'm like, they are still talking in English. Like, whoa! So, that's rare. That's really rare. Like, I can't think of a series I've seen that has done that. Like, to that extent. Like, just, not in recent memory. I don't remember any series that has done something like that. Like, what? It's not bad, just like, whoa, it definitely shocks you, because I wonder how the Japanese watchers of The Perfect Insider felt about that scene, because, I mean, I'm so used to hearing Japanese, and hearing, like, that for, like, a straight 5 to 6 minutes, I wonder how the Japanese audience feels about that, because of the way that sounded. So, yeah, just the episode of The Perfect Insider just caught me off guard with that. But let's leave the English for another time. So, I gotta ask a question. Now, I could be derping here, or maybe the translations were off. But the way this is being said in this episode, it was making it assume that the incident, which would happen 15 years ago, happened in the lab. That's what the episode of The Perfect Insider was kind of implying, because we had it to where, like, the door went down with that flashback at the end of the episode. It looked like part of the lab. I mean, in the incident, 15 years ago in the lab, it was said a couple of times in this episode, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? So you're telling me, like, what we thought really happened with, like, where it was at in that house is actually it happened in the lab? Like, wait, what? So, something is definitely off with the timeline at this moment. Like, what the fuck is going on with the timeline? Unless it's a translation error, that's a possibility. That can happen. That does happen. But still, like, what? So, I don't really have any thoughts on that one right now. So, does that mean, like, the timeline's just, like, fucked at this moment? We need to get the full picture of it. The next thing is that laugh at the end of the episode, like, whoa, that's just like, if you thought last week's episode was creepy with how Shiki just goes in and just stabs her parents, and then you see blood just pouring down her face, well, you're gonna see a lot worse. She starts laughing and all that, and I'm like, what the fuck, she's just so creepy, it's so fucking creepy. The way she was acting was just so damn creepy, like, oh my god. Damn. What a freaking episode. Like, this episode was, to put it point blank, it was a good episode, but it felt so futuristic. Now, I know some of the technology we have seen in The Perfect Insider has been a little bit to the edge of sci-fi. For instance, reaching into the bounds that's kind of not possible at this day and age. And seeing that tank that was allowing, like, Moe and them to go into their dreams and then visually pull out information from their past that they've kind of suppressed, that's something I don't think, like, modern-day science can even really do to that extent. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, a lot of questions I have, because does this mean that the technology of The Perfect Insider is way highly advanced, way higher than what we previously assumed? Now, it's already been implied that it's kind of high, especially with the robot, the way the system is and stuff. But with this now, with this, like, technology, with being able to, like, pull out information of stuff you've forgotten a long time ago as a child, that looks like the realm of sci-fi. So it might not be too far off to assume that maybe Shiki Makoto, maybe she put herself inside of the computer, the system. I've said this once before in the earlier stages of the series. That's kind of what it was trying to imply. That could be what's going on here, because you had it to where that entire dialogue with Michiru, I mean, we do know Michiru is the robot. We saw the name of the Michiru, so it might be possible that, Magata could have put herself inside the system or something, if technology is that advanced in this series, because with the way that was shown with that tube thing, I was like, that's just not possible. So I'm left up and wondering now, so do I need to actually think of this as standard logic that we normally see in, you know, everyday life, that, you know, how we deal with problems, or do I need to start tackling and attaching on, like, you know, certain sci-fi elements to the mystery? For instance, do I need to figure out, like, how so-and-so accomplishes with said technology that we don't really understand at this moment in our modern-day technology? So, I mean, a lot of questions I have right now, but besides that, episode of The Perfect Insider, pretty trippy, actually, especially with the dream sequence. I mean, when you see the sensei just going up the side of the building, just walking and stuff, and then you just see him skipping and laughing, I'm like, it's weird. It's so weird seeing this character that is so cold. Like, he doesn't have any emotion. Like, he's emotionless, and he acts like that. I'm like, yo, it just looks so weird. It's so off. Like, it feels so off when you see something like that with this character that we've been seeing since episode 1 act something like that. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, I guess it's a great way to kind of break him out of his usual mold, and it still retains that logic because it was through, like, some form of dream sequence that Moe was having. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.